I am trying to turn my basement into a mini goldfish farm, and there is a lot of work that goes into setting all this up. So today I'm just going to go over what I've been doing the last couple days in order to get this thing up and running. First things first, I've been doing a ton of driving, burning through so much gas, it almost seems like I have something against the environment. I don't, I love the environment, but I gotta drive to get my tanks. I've been getting a lot of these 75-gallon stock tanks, but I can only hold 2 in my car at a time. Not only do I have to drive to every Petco to buy all their 75-gallon tanks, but I gotta stop at each Petco too to look at all the animals. Why? Because I have to look at the animals. Look at them. They're so cute. They got all kinds of goldfish there. They're all lower quality, but I still enjoy looking at them. And they got, their birds, their parrots, and whatever. And I don't know, every time I go to a Petco, I cannot walk out that door until I've locked eyes on every single animal. Like, not every single one, but I basically look at all the pets and just enjoy the moment for a little bit and then get back to work. Not only am I going to Petco a lot, I'm also going to Home Depot a whole lot. And luckily, this one Petco was right next to a Home Depot, so that was very convenient for me. And I've been buying these racks. I bought 3 sets of these racks, and I'm going to be using these to hold the 75-gallon tanks up. Between driving to places, loading up my car, then driving back, unloading my car and putting the stuff into my garage, I'm burning through a lot of time. Like, a Petco might only be like 25 minutes away, but by the time I've actually gone there, bought the tanks, got them back, got them in my garage, like an hour and a half of my day is gone. And then I do this multiple times and I go to multiple different stores, half my day is gone and I got no videos or any work done in the fish room. Another thing I've been working on is having a central air pump that pumps air to the entire room, and this way I can power all my sponge filters with this one central pump. And the way a sponge filter works is it needs an air pump for it to operate and move water through the sponge. So if I have one massive air pump that supplies air to the entire room, I'll avoid having to power the sponge filters by having one air pump at every single tank. And there's going to be 20 tanks in here maybe, I'm not sure. So I don't want to have an air pump at every single one. It's also going to be a lot noisier too. While I was putting up this central air line, the one thing I noticed that was kind of difficult is that when I had these long pieces of PVC, I'd try to bolt one side in, and then the entire thing just wanted to completely hang down. So I'm trying to hold the entire thing up but on at the same time. And I was able to prop something underneath the other end, or just extend my arm out and hold things in my mouth to get it to work. It's kind of a struggle to do it all myself, but I was able to manage. Cue that part of the video where I stop talking and you watch me work in time lapse while you listen to some music. So even though I got all that piping hooked up and I got it hooked up to the air pump, there's still one major important step I have to do before I can actually run that pump and run that system. I gotta drill a bunch of individual holes all throughout that PVC pipe and then put in little airline tappers into there that are gonna line into the fish tanks. Now I decided to put up the PVC piping before doing that because it might be kind of hard to pre-drill those holes and then guesstimate and estimate where they're gonna end up afterward. So I figured I just put up all the piping and everything, and then I start drilling in the holes. Yeah, it might be a little more awkward and harder to drill while it's on the wall, but I don't think it'll be an issue. But yeah, now what you see me doing is assembling these racks. Now these are the racks that are going to be holding the 75-gallon glass aquariums. So half of this room is going to be glass aquariums, half of this room is going to be black totes. So I already told you guys about how I went and bought these, and the nice thing is each one of these racking sets, so when you buy one box, you can actually build 2 separate racks, 2 short racks. So you can either build one massive tall rack, which I can't even fit in this basement, the ceiling's not that high, or you can do 2 separate smaller racks, which is what I'm doing. So for the 3 racking sets I bought, I can get 6 total racks, and then in those 6 total racks, I can hold 12 total tanks, which I believe is really all the racking I'm going to need for this entire room. So at this point, I had 4 of the racks built. I hadn't built the 2 other racks, and I had all the racks on the right side of the room, the totes on the left side of the room, and you'll watch later in this video that I decided that I actually wanted to switch everything around, which was a massive hassle, but I did end up doing it, and you'll see that later. Another thing I did was cut these plywood sheets so they would fit on top of these aquarium racks. I thought they would be 24 by 48, and I had them cut that way, but then when I went to put them them on the racks. Turns out they didn't fit, they were a little too large. I had to cut a 1/2 inch off each side. And I want to have these on top of the racks just to make the weight distribution of the tank over the rack a little more even. I don't want to have, you know, like stress on the glass and having it, you know, fracture on me. I also decided to paint all these boards black, or at least the top side of them, because I just thought it would look better to have a black board on some black racking. And my tanks might have black sand in them, so that would also kind of fit that whole vibe and theme. What you see me doing here is just brainstorming and thinking, how do I want these racks set up? I got 4 racks on this wall, where do I put the other 2? Should I make a whole line of racks down the middle? And then I quickly decided, actually, no, I don't want that. That looks awful. That just, like, the whole room just looks awkward if I had that. So I then decided that I wanted to get all the tubs and stuff on the left side of the room, and I wanted to have that on the right side of the room, and I wanted to have all the racks that were on the right side of the room, and I want to have that on the left, and kind of make like a little an L bracket of racks. So like you kind of have it, you know, snake against the wall back there. So I had to drain all the tubs, I had to move all the tubs, I had to move like all the little random sponge filters and everything, and then I had to move all the racks, and this took me forever. This was like, you know, this alone right here is like half a day's job, just because there's so much moving around. It was like playing Tetris like in your fish basement. This day I also decided to go to Tractor Supply Company and again buy 4 more 110-gallon stock tanks, which again cost me $440. But after I moved it all in there, the room was really starting to come together. I had these double rows of tanks all on the right side, and then I had, you know, all the stands and stuff on the left side, and, you know, I was much happier with this kind of setup. I kind of like having the rack against the wall there, and the tubs all on the right. After this, I ended up going to Petco again to get 2 more 75-gallon tanks. They have a 50% off sale, so I figured I might as well get as many as I can right now. So while I was there, I saw these turtles, and, you know, I was just thinking, like, I really want a couple turtles. These are so cool. I've always wanted some turtles. And, you know, back at home, like, you know, I wouldn't even think to ask, because I was like, you know, I already have all these goldfish. I'm not going to ask my parents if I can get turtles now. But, like, now I'm realizing, like, I live in my own home. I make my own rules. Like, if I want turtles, I can just go buy turtles. There's no one stopping me but me. So it's highly likely that I get turtles very soon. Also, while I was at Petco, I saw a couple bubble-eyed goldfish, and you guys know what I think about these breeds of goldfish. I'm not the biggest fan. I think they should discontinue this breed. But that doesn't stop me from still thinking they are kind of cute. Like, they are kind of cute. You know, the ones with the overly large bubbles, like, those are kind of ugly looking, but these ones, yeah, they have a cute appeal to them. But again, I think it's taken too far. It's just too much of a hindrance, and, you know, it kind of weighs them down. So, and one of them was, you know, not looking too good, but, you know, that's typical for Petco fish. But yeah, I just thought I'd share. While you watch me experiment with how to drill in these little tappers into the main PVC pipe, I just want to talk about what I believe I have left. So there's a couple major things. Obviously, I have to drill in these tappers, you know, to all the major airlines. And then what I have to do is I got to get all the tanks down here. I have to connect the sponge filters. I have to deal with heating, whether I'm going to be heating the air in the room or I'm just going to be heating the tanks individually. I'm not sure yet. I also do want to pipe in some hot water from the hot water heater, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. And, you know, I also got to continue cycling the filters. So again, like, I might start bringing my fish I already have down into this basement, but I'm not going to go get my fish from Chicago for maybe another week or 2. That's all for today, folks. If you'd like to support what I'm doing, consider becoming a channel member. It goes a long way. Thank you very much. And I also have merch linked down in the description below. Luke's Goldies out.